Welcome back to the show. Earlier, we discussed the concept of digital ownership. We got some comments, and in one comment in particular, by a viewer named Mystic Wolf I79, sparked a big conversation. So let's get into it. The war on physical media is being met with folks like myself that not only want to save gaming, but movies and TV shows as well. And showing buying is owning, unlike digital, where it can be taken away at any time. This hits on the biggest story in gaming right now. The user is absolutely right that a war on physical media is happening. We've got Sony, a major player, officially announcing they're going to stop producing physical discs for games starting in January 2028. This is a massive shift. They are pushing for an all-digital market, which aligns perfectly with the key point made by our commenter on our last video. That commenter argued Sony is trying to cut out retailers like Walmart, GameStop, Target, Best Buy, all to pocket the profit for themselves. And the data backs that up. By going digital only, Sony saves on production costs and cuts out the middleman entirely. But more importantly, once digital is the only option, you're forced to buy from their storefront, and their storefront only. They're currently facing antitrust lawsuits in 5 countries, including a £2 billion class action lawsuit in the UK over this exact issue, accusing them of a near monopoly that lets them inflate prices. One report notes digital games are about 20% more expensive than their physical counterparts. So the commenters fear that Sony is taking over the market to control pricing isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's the entire central argument in these massive legal battles. But let's move to the second part of this, which is about publishers like EA. The commenter mentioned how companies like EA make billions on Madden and NBA, but put out the same bullshit every year. And they noted that people buy expensive Ultimate Editions and still get hit with more microtransactions. This is a huge point. Search results showed that in 2024 alone, EA made over $5.5 billion from live services, which are essentially microtransactions. That's their business model now. Not making a new game from scratch every year, you have a cycle where they release a game annually for $70, make minor updates, and then drive you to spend more and more in modes like Ultimate Team. The criticism is that innovation and fixing bugs often take a backseat because the real money comes from selling digital packs. And this brings us to the most painful point made in the comments: the economic reality for gamers. The commenter said, parents who struggle to make ends meet because the economy is shit, from gas prices, groceries, housing, everything has gone up, and so has debt. They also mentioned they're worried that the government is setting a bad example rather than helping the gaming industry and the community itself. This isn't speculation. We are seeing a phenomenon called funflation, where the cost of at-home entertainment is skyrocketing alongside everything else. We've seen Xbox, Apple, Sony raise hardware prices due to chip shortage. Streaming services like Amazon, Netflix, Spotify have all raised their prices. A recent report from CNBC shows that Gen Z and millennials are cutting back on home entertainment spending by about 4% because it's gotten too expensive. In other words, the escape is becoming unaffordable. So, the original commenter's point, we have a digital future where companies control our access and pricing, and market flooded with expensive incremental updates and microtransactions, and a player base that is feeling the squeeze from both the gaming industry and the tough economies. Excuse me, brain fart. The feeling that the government is setting an example for companies to push boundaries is a real frustration for many who want gaming to be an escape, not another financial burden. Ooh, excuse me. that's all I have for this particular episode today. It's a shorter video, but thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.
They call it Trump derangement syndrome. A neat little term cooked up in the psychological basement of political warfare, designed to dismiss every rational observation with a smirk and a meme. You pour your coffee, rub your eyes, and before your day even starts, you've got a whole political movement calling you deranged. Because you can still tell the difference between a crook and a savior. They think that's clever, like it's some great insight. Meanwhile, those of us who still believe in reason, those of us who think government shouldn't brutalize families, that facts matter, that the Constitution isn't a piece of paper you wipe your ass with, we're told we're deranged. And the worst part? They admit it, straight-faced, that even if Trump did every rotten thing he's accused of, they'd still support him. Imagine hearing that from a grown adult, a person with a mortgage, a person trusted to operate a vehicle. But that's America now. Half the people cheering for a guy who screws them, lies to them, drains their wallets, and sends thugs out to zip-tie children in the name of law and order. Prices stay high, taxes slap them in the mouth, gas drains their paychecks, and they stand there grinning like idiots, saying, well, as long as it pisses off the libs. You try to reason with them, and they hit you with that smug little line, sounds like TDS. And what are you supposed to say to that? How do you argue with a brick wall that calls itself a man? You can't. You just sit there, watching them sink deeper into their own stupidity, proud of how little they know. God help us. There are moments in the life of a society when the truth becomes inconvenient, and in those moments, people will go to extraordinary lengths to avoid it. They will twist themselves into knots, abandon long-held values, and declare anyone who sees clearly to be the enemy. I have watched this unfold in my own country. I have seen citizens dismiss evidence, ignore suffering, and cling to a single man with a fervor that replaces thought with obedience. When confronted with the contradictions of their loyalty, they respond not with reasoned debate, but with a simple dismissive phrase, Trump derangement syndrome. And here is the truth! A society that mocks reason will soon lose the ability to govern itself. A society that rejects evidence will find only chaos. A society that embraces spite as political identity is one that has forgotten its own ideals. If that makes those of us who still cling to reason appear deranged, then so be it. I would rather be called unreasonable while defending what is true than be praised for surrendering to ignorance. There is strength in remaining calm when others rage. There is honor in standing firm when others bend. And there is profound courage in seeing clearly when so many choose the comfort of blindness. When reason becomes a minority position, reason itself becomes an act of defiance.